We are live and on the air, and welcome everybody. Hope you can hear us and see us okay. Um, should be able to hear us, I think. So Laura's here. Hi, Laura from the Great White North, and Barbara finally catching us from Alberta, and Patsy. Hello, everyone, watching from the sunny South U.S. and Betty LaSalle. Hello from Syracuse, New York. I think, Betty, you're new on here, and welcome if you are, because I can't remember if I've ever seen your name pop up in the chat, but you're welcome here anyways.
Hi, Tracy.
Tracy's here. Hi, Tracy. And we're just giving everybody a few seconds here to catch up, get in, and we'll begin. Margaret here. Margaret is here from Connecticut, and she can hear us. That's good, Margaret. I'm glad you can. I'll tell you why I'm asking that question today, especially because of something that someone brought up. And Laura can see and hear us too. That's good. Kind of pointless if you can't see or hear us. Angel's here. Hi, Angel.
Hi, Angel.
And yeah, so we're getting everybody in here. And Eddie is here. And yes, Eddie, you are a man. Eddie sent me an email today with a couple of comments, and one of the things he mentioned was that I was calling him Edie. And he's actually Eddie, and he is a male quilter and everything, and I'm so happy to have another male quilter on here as well. But I apologize for that because really I was expecting when I saw EDDIE that it would be Edie, and it was another one of our lady friends here. But glad to see we've got another man on here. Anita's here. Hi, Anita.
Hi, Anita.
Hi, Glenna. Hello, Glenna. And yeah, so I'm assuming some other people may be joining in with us in a few minutes as time goes by. So at the very top of this, I asked the question, could you see us and hear us okay? Now, I had a comment from one of the subscribers, and I will be very admit the way that the subscriber put this comment out there, I took a little bit of offense to it at first, but I thought, well, no, it's hard when someone writes something as a comment, because you can't see the person, you don't have a context, and sometimes words do not convey exactly the true meaning of what someone is saying, or the tone. But anyways, she was saying, well, I'm assuming it was a she, I don't really know for sure. Anyways, this person said that wanted me to do something with our sound on our microphone because the intro was louder than when we were talking. Well, yeah, I understand that, and I have noticed that when we do the playback and that kind of thing. But here's the issue. The intro is a separate program. It's not going through the microphone. What you hear right now is going through the microphone. So yes, there is an inconsistency there as well. Now, we have played around. We have a Yeti microphone, and we've played around with it. And, this person, I keep calling her she. I think it is a she, but anyways, this person said, felt that we needed to move the microphone closer to us. Well, yes, but we've got very limited space. You can't see what's in front of us right here, but there's not a lot of space. And anyways, I've done an adjustment on the microphone today. I did some experimentations. I adjusted what they call the gain on it, and I'm hoping that will be a little bit better. My answer to this individual was, well, you can always turn up the volume on whatever device you're listening to us on if you're having trouble with it. Well, that was the other comment they mentioned, that they weren't hard of hearing. Okay, whatever. So we're trying to accommodate, but we do have limited technical, not skills so much as we have limited technical devices. We have to work with what we've got, and we are not by any means a professional studio. So we'll see how this works out today with it all, and yeah, we'll go from there. So Designing Jay is here from West Virginia. Hello, Designing Jay. And
it says Johanna, so is that Johanna the one that we normally have?
Oh, hello from Johanna. Oh, maybe. Yeah, it's probably Johanna. Yeah. Um, Designing J, Johanna, is that from the Quilter's Way? Um, let's see. Kathy's here. Hi, Kathy. Um, did you feel that, Steven? Did I feel what, Angel? I'm not sure what you
That
mean.
was my epic eye roll.
Oh, well, where did you see that?
Down there at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm sure that individual was trying to be helpful. It's just the way that it came across. It sounded more like you know, a criticism.
Yeah, it's Johanna.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yay, Johanna, you made it. Um, Karen Campbell's here. Hi, Karen. Hello from Arkansas. Yes, and Karen and I just did an interview this week. And it was great, and you'll be seeing it. It'll go up on Tuesday, so do tune in on the Idiot Quilter channel to see my interview with Karen. Well, Patsy, we didn't really switch to a Yeti mic. We've been using a Yeti mic now for a year. So maybe the gain thing is, I was afraid it would distort the sound when I was playing with it around when I first got the Yeti. So if it is better now, then great. So we'll go with that. I know what I've got it set at now, so if that's working out, that's fine. Hi, Jeannie. So anyways, yeah. So what's Walter been working on? What are you checking?
I was checking the temperature. It's -6 here today.
You have it on your watch.
Yeah, I know, but I was trying to convert it to Fahrenheit.
Oh, mine says it's -4.
Oh, mine says -6.
Well, what's the rule? Double it and add 30. So -4 plus -4 is -8. Add 30, it's 22
Oh, okay.
Fahrenheit, roughly. So Penny's here. Hi, Penny. So what's Walter been working on?
Well, I still have that shirt in there. However, I have been trying to fix the stupid dishwasher.
Well, what's wrong with the dishwasher? Let people know what you're talking about.
Well, it's making a noise when it's draining. So I have kind of concluded that there's something caught in the drain hose. It's still draining. It's just making a loud noise.
Yeah, like it's rattles for a while. Our theory is, and we've had several of them, we think there may be a piece of glass or plastic caught in the drain tube that we can't get at, or actually in the pump itself, although you've kind of ruled that out.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the pump.
Hi, Marilyn. Anyways.
And I can't seem to get it out of the drain hose. I've got, I can pull the drain hose off, and I've been trying to get it out of there, but I can get it to rattle down in there, but I can't get it out.
Hi, Andy. Yeah, see, I have these cheap wine glasses that oh, yeah, here it goes. It's my fault. It is my fault. I want everybody to know this. When anything that ever goes wrong, I have learned over the years to say, my bad, my fault. It's all about it.
Well, there was a big piece of glass in the bottom where the drain hose connects.
Yeah, okay, fine. But let me explain why. It's not like I just willy-nilly break glasses in the dishwasher and leave it. I buy large wine glasses from the dollar store. So you know what quality I'm talking about, right?
So,
And
okay, go ahead.
yeah, anything else you'd like to step right in here and get it off, on you too. Like pick one of these. This is the one I suggest. Okay. So anyways, one day, I mean, after a while, when they've been put in the dishwasher a lot because they're just cheap glass, right? They get a little fragile. And if there's any, vibration in there, they can break. Usually it's just a piece comes off it, like a large piece, because they're large glasses. And, you fish it out, you find it in there, you pick up the glass, you see you got a hole in it, and the glass is probably in the trap. But there may have been one time, and this is all a theory, all right? This is a theory. We do not know for sure, and I thought of something else, which I'll tell you about in a moment, that just dawned on me too. So our theory is that maybe we missed a piece of glass when one of these broke in it at one time, and it's gotten sucked into the draining tube. And the dishwasher still works. It's not a problem. It's just that when it goes to drain, we have this clacking sound, very loud clacking sound. And when we first heard the sound, I thought it was because of the way I'd placed maybe some of the utensils in the dishwasher, and they were, bumping up against each other with the pressure of the water. Well, no, that theory is not a good theory. And so Walter's been screwing around with it for several days, and we've come to the conclusion that we may just have to put up with the noise until maybe it'll rectify itself, or maybe we'll just get used to the noise. So,
I could buy a new drain hose for it.
No, we could buy a new dishwasher, but
we could, yeah, but that doesn't necessarily fix the problem, because if we buy a new dishwasher and your glass breaks in the new dishwasher and gets sucked into the tube, then we'll have a new dishwasher.
Well, maybe I should buy better wine glasses for it. I like those wine glasses though from the dollar store because they're big. They hold half a bottle.
Yeah, well, then why don't you just drink it straight from the bottle?
Well, maybe I will. Maybe it was something you did. Oh, here we've got one of the Mad Russians. Apparently this has become a real trend. The Russians are bombing people's lives and stuff. I heard this from another YouTuber the other day when I was watching. Let's go remove. Bye-bye. Okay, so hi, Teresa.
Yeah, I can order a new hose. It's about $65 for a new hose.
If it's in the hose.
I'm pretty sure it's in the hose.
But then he has to install it.
Yeah, that means I have to probably uninstall the dishwasher and put it back. That's part of the problem. So.
Yeah, Laura, you're right. When all else fails, point it at Stephen for blame. Yeah, I'm like Lucy. Ricky!
Yeah, I know. I could actually wash the glass by hand.
Oh, but thank you, Johanna. I used to call you a friend. If you have the technology, my theory is you should use it.
I mean, as if it's difficult to rinse out one glass and wash.
Yeah, and Patsy says, don't put the wine glasses in the dishwasher. And what do you mean? Oh, you can't even load a dishwasher. You hand me your empty wine glass. Can you get that in? I don't know how to do it.
Dishwasher is about 7 years old.
It's our third one since we've been in this house for 27 years. So, yeah. Yeah, Patsy says, don't put wine glasses in the dishwasher. It's a dishwasher. It's a dish.
Actually, I was reading the manual and it said, do not put fine glass in air in case it gets into the drainage system.
These are not fine glass, though. This is just cheap glass.
No, it's thin glass.
Did it say thin glass or fine glass?
Thin, fine glass.
It doesn't matter what I would do, what would happen. If it's going to go wrong, one, it'll go wrong when I'm using it. And two, I will get blamed for it. It doesn't matter. He can walk out front of this house and suddenly he'd be hit by lightning and it would be my fault because he went out in a thunderstorm. Because there would be some reason why he needed to go out in a thunderstorm that had something to do with me. I don't know what it would be, but he would find the reason for it. So, yeah, it's not that old, Laura, 7 years. But, they don't make these things to last anymore. Any appliance.
Yeah, this dishwasher, it was an expensive dishwasher. It's KitchenAid. But
which seems to be nothing.
We had an old KitchenAid, actually, and we were having trouble with it. And just before we bought the new one, before we got rid of it, I kind of figured out what the problem was. So,
why? What did I do to that one?
Nothing. The
what?
The float got stuck on it.
Yeah, but it was probably because of something I did, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Why did the float get stuck?
There's a piece of food caught underneath it.
Oh my God! In a dishwasher. Go figure. Oh no.
Yeah, I know. We had the previous dishwasher was leaking. That's our last one we had.
That's because I sat in front of it with an electric drill and put holes through it. No, I didn't, but that would be what he would say. Pat says, always my fault in our house too. Yep. All the time. But anyways, thing is, if you go out and you buy a new one, it's no guarantee. Like, who was it just set up here? Kathy said hers lasted 9 months. Yeah.
She said 9 years. Oh, no, 9 months. Yeah.
I can read.
Okay.
You The verdict's out on that one. But yeah. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Well, and this is a KitchenAid, and always as KitchenAid products, they're
Well, actually, this one's really poorly constructed. I was never so
KitchenAid isn't
disappointed.
made by KitchenAid anymore.
No, it's made by Whirlpool.
Yeah.
Actually, KitchenAid used to be made by Hobart.
Margaret says, I had the same problem, discovered that the small piece was in the area that chops the scraps. Try a pointed needle in the holes and you may be able to pinpoint where the glass is. But actually, I know what you're talking about, because on the last dishwasher, we were having a problem and we had to call someone in and they took a look at it. And I thought that our dishwasher, okay, Walter's going to blast me here, so get prepared for it. I thought our last dishwasher had a garburator in it, because it said something to the effect that would make you think it had a garburator. So I probably wasn't as particular about, like, I always rinse the dishes off before I put them in, but a few things may have got in there. Well, the guy pointed out to us that there's these little choppy blades, and all they are just little pieces of triangular metal that when the water flows through in that area of the dishwasher, they sort of go up and down. He said they can't handle anything beyond a piece of very well cooked rice, if that. He says that's just a whole lot of like hokum.
Yeah, well, that's how I thought it was too, that had a carburetor in it, and then we found out it really didn't.
No.
And so what the new ones have in the KitchenAids is they don't have that anymore. What they have is they just have a strainer, and it's supposed to keep stuff from going into the drain motor. But somehow a piece of glass about this big managed to get past that.
If it is a piece of glass.
No, there was a piece underneath.
Oh, you mean...
when I took all the strainer off, there was a piece this big underneath it.
Well, that's because I snuck in during the middle of the night when you were asleep, and I lifted it up and put glass in it because I wanted to do that.
There's a strainer that twists out, and then there's a screen that looks like a straining screen, and that lifts out. And underneath it, there was a piece of glass this big, and that's not supposed to get through that.
Well, it did.
Yeah, I know.
Don't know how that happened. But anyways.
Yeah, I know, Patsy. I tried beating that hose really bad.
That sounds almost dirty.
I took it off. I tried ramming stuff into it. I tried all kinds of stuff. And when I rammed stuff into it, all I could hear was the glass clanking around in it.
Yeah, I don't know. Glenna says, try not to buy a new dishwasher. We have what we were told was a top-line dishwasher. They were wrong. Well, yeah, and dishwashers aren't cheap. The one we have is like a
$1,200 dishwasher.
Yeah, with it. So, yeah, I know. Teresa says, my internet connection has gremlins playing hijinks. Stopping play of this video. It's your fault, Stephen. Okay. I love your emojis there, Teresa. Yeah, is there an emoji that shows me sticking a finger up in the air towards you? I don't know. Just saying. No. Nita says, Hobart originated in Troy, Ohio, just a few minutes from us. They still have a welding school. Okay. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl, late to the party. Sorry, I'm late. There's no excuse, Cheryl. We're going to ban you.
Well, anyway, so...
No, we're not.
So they just don't make things the way they used to.
No, that's for sure. So anyways, yeah, that's been what he's been working on this week, the dishwasher. And when Walter gets in the mindset to try and fix something, it goes on for days and days.
I have to examine things.
And then there's swearing and cursing and yelling and screaming. Oftentimes my name comes across his lips at the time, and I just ignore him because I know to stay away. Out of the room. I made one little suggestion to him. I said, so maybe if you took the vacuum cleaner hose and put it on reverse and blew stuff through it. Well, I got that idea shot down real quick. So
I did try that. That didn't work either.
Well, you'd never know, because if it worked, then I'd be going, see, I told you, but I would be told that that what I had suggested to fix it wasn't, and did fix it, really wasn't a fix for it. Like there would be something. So anyways, oh, you found one. She's got it. I didn't know they had one in there. Well, I so seldom use the emojis. Cheryl says, sorry, my daughter was over. Had to fit her clothes. She lost weight, needs her clothes fixed. That's my job. Oh, you're being seamstress, are you? Alteration master, Cheryl? Cindy's here. Hi, Cindy. How is it today? I could say so many things to that about that, but I won't. Oh, well, that's the way my mind is working today. So anyways, that's what Walter's been working on. My shirt is not done. It may be done by my birthday. That's in July. And so what am I working on? Well, lots of things. I'm going to show you pictures. Of course, I'm going to show you pictures just as soon as I find my cursor.
Your mouse isn't working.
No, it does. It goes to sleep. It's got this feature where it goes to sleep when you don't use it. I hate it. Right, that's not where I wanted to go. No, I guess I didn't have them up here in the first place. I thought I did. I had that stuff already. Huh. Well, I guess I didn't. Okay. Just bear with me for a second, people. I'm just finding stuff on my screen. No, that's not where I want to go. I want to go. Here's where I want to go. Okay. Get that up there, full screen, and switch over. Here's what I want to show you. My latest quilt top. It hasn't been bound. It hasn't been quilted yet, and it isn't right. Okay. I don't know if I told you about this last week. I think I did. I had started this. It's supposed to be a bargello. And if you don't know what a bargello is basically a series of strips in different sizes. And the way that you order the strips creates a pattern. And you can see the pattern up in the top left-hand corner, you know, where it's starting to slope in a little bit narrower. Well, then it's supposed to start undulating the other way. And this quilt is called Making Waves. So it gives you an idea. It's, you know, why they call it that. I've had nothing but endless problems with this quilt. Now, I have made bargellos before. I followed the pattern. This was a pattern that I got free. That might have been the first problem. It was a freebie. But from a legitimate quilting online site called Art Gallery Fabrics. I've got a lot of their patterns. Now, mind you, this is the first pattern off their site I think that I've ever made. And they do a lot of things with modern quilts. So I decided I want to make this, and I had all this type of fabric, which I really liked, and I thought would make, you know, a really colorful, well, it is colorful, bargello. But the instructions were absolutely horrible, horribly written. Spelling errors. They made so many assumptions that if you'd been somebody who had never made a bargello before in your life, this would not be the pattern to use because you'd never figure it out. I tore out more things and redid them for this, got it all together, thought I had it down pat, and no, it doesn't look like the picture because everything, 2/3 of this quilt looks like a bunch of squares that are running down a diagonal. They're not making that curved pattern. And for the life of me, I'm not sure what went wrong. Because I double-checked, I triple-checked, I quadruple-checked the pattern and tried to figure it out. I even went online and found other instructions for bargellos because essentially to make a bargello, it's the same. You see, the trick with a bargello is you make a tube, a couple of very large tubes of fabric. And then you cut the tubes and then you take out a seam in different spots in each one of the strips you end up with, and you have to line them up and sew them down, and that gives you the pattern with it. Very confusing. Then I found out this pattern was written by Mr. Domestic. I've never done one of Mr. Domestic's patterns before, and after this experience, I don't think I'll do another one in the future because it was absolutely horrible written. Now, to be fair, maybe Art Gallery Fabric does something to when patterns come into them. Maybe they rewrite them. I don't know. If they do, they don't do a good job. Maybe there was no editing involved. There should have been. I don't think there were any quilt testers either for this as well. So, what am I going to do with this? Well, I think it's pretty. It's unusual, and I think I'm going to heavily quilt it. And I've got a pantograph pattern that I haven't used yet that involves feathers and pebbles all in it. And I think that'll look really good. And I think I'm going to be really bold in my thread choice. Well, bold so because I got a lot of colors in this. So I may do it in a white, the actual quilting on it. So what my theory is, since it's not truly a Bargello, I can compensate for all this. Basically, it's not negative space, but space that really just a bunch of squares in a diagonal format. I can compensate for that with the quilting. That's my theory. We'll see how that works out with it. So that's one thing I've been working on. Now, with the 3D printer, I made these guys. They're candles. Well, they're plastic candle holders. You put in, a flameless candle in the top, and you can see that in the top. There's 3 of them. I've made another one, a 4th one as well. I just think they're kind of fun, and I was trying out some new filaments that I got. And this is my new rainbow, and this actually, the rainbow worked out really well on this because you need something that's going to that uses a fair amount of filament to get the rainbow effect. This filament I wasn't too happy with. It's a new one I got, but it came out a little rough.
Is that the one that's supposed to be like steampunk?
Yeah, they called that steampunk rainbow. Well, to me, it's more called an olivine or gray. Actually, I redid this one in the rainbow, and it turned out a little better. And then there's this big guy. This one is pretty big. You'll have to mind the strings that are on here. When I took this picture, I hadn't cleaned off all these little strings of fabric or of filament. But I am also making shelves to put them on. And here's how far I've gotten that. That sits behind us, and you'll see it when we go back to us on the screen. But I really think these little shelves are really neat. They're hexagonal shape. My printer's making more of them. And you can set them up so, as I've done here, that they're sort of interconnected. And I'm hanging them on the wall using command strips. I've got 3 on each one. Those things are sitting on are as light as anything. They're as light as air. You can see my gnomes, some of my gnomes. And I just think it's kind of a good use of that space. And so I'm making a few more of these for that wall as well. The thing is, they take a long time to make. Now, the other thing that I've been working on, and I'm just going to switch back to us. So you can see over top of Walter's head, there's the shelves that I was showing you on here. And I got to get our screen back in so we can see what's going on. Okay. And so I'm going to show you, I've got them hanging up here. I showed you one of these last week. Well, I've got 2 more made. This is the In the Hoop quilt. That's a book case. So I think I showed you this one last week. And we're talking about whether I can change the names. Well, I have discovered in this file, I thought, yeah, I could, but I'd have to edit these ones. No, they've got ones that are blank, so you can put your own customization for them all. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to drop that on the floor. This is the second one. And this appeals to me because it's got the Shakespeare shelf. Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet. And there's something that says poetry on it. And then the one I finished yesterday is this one. It's got a little clock that sits on it with a little jar, I guess, and journal. So they're all different. And the idea is when you get through them all and put them together, you have this will be a wall hanging, not a quilt really. And yeah, so that's what I'm working on too now. I dropped everything on the floor. Don't mind me as I go down to the basement. So, yeah, I've been busy, boy, working on all these kinds of things and whatnot. So what are people saying there? Donna's here. Hi, Donna. Just back it up so we can see. Oh, Cheryl says she prefers alterations queen. Okay. Laura says, wow, that's wild. Love it. Yep. Pretty Bargello. My friend tells people she doesn't own the alterations attachment for her machine. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, anybody who sews, that's the first thing people who don't sew want you for, right? They want you to alter things. If you, well, my sister, her son, my nephew, there a year or so ago, he had gotten a denim jacket and he had all these patches or something he got from concerts and things like that, and bought, and he wanted to put them all on the denim jacket. Well, my sister didn't have a sewing machine and she wasn't doing it conveniently, and she wasn't doing it by hand, so I put them all on. Now he was pretty well organized though. He had laid them all out on the jacket and sort of pinned them, and he had taken a picture of where he wanted the placement of them. So it wasn't that hard a job to do, but I don't want to do it anymore. And then my sister also
like somebody says, can you hem pants?
Yeah.
Well, I don't like hemming my own pants.
Well,
I mean, that's the part that I don't like the most about sewing, is doing the hemming part.
Well, my answer to that is, if they say, can you hem pants? Yes, I can, not yours. Only for myself, thank you. And I don't hem my own, like for the same reason Walter says too. But I did get, now my sister had this canvasy like material that needed to have the edges serged. Yeah. She uses it when she does cross stitching, and my sister's major into cross stitching, has been for years. So I had to put that through my serger.
She had a mat from the red mat that she used in the backyard in the barbecue, with a fire resistant mat. It was really thick. She had you serge that.
Yeah, that one was a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
I did it, but it's a little bit of a bitch to do. Well, it's family. What can you say, right? Yeah, Jeannie, that's the way I'm looking at it too. Even though it's not the way the pattern turned out, I kind of like it. And I think when I said with the not the embroidery, but with the quilting on it, I think it'll make it look okay. Yeah, doesn't matter anyways, really. Margaret says, check the Jordan Fabrics. They had that pattern.
Yeah, well, Steve has the pattern.
Yeah, I've got the pattern.
But I don't know if the pattern in Jordan Fabrics is written any differently.
Well, Margaret, what you mean is maybe they've got a tutorial.
That's a possibility.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. It's not that big a deal, but there are tons of Bargello patterns. This one is not a unique pattern. It just so happened, though, I had it. And it was one that took my fancy. But I did not know. If I had seen the name Mr. Domestic on it, and I'm sorry if some of you are fans of Mr. Domestic, and I'll be honest, I used to be a fan of Mr. Domestic as well. I used to watch his videos all the time, and then he went crazy. And he got pissed off at something, and I think his YouTube channel got hijacked at one point. Felt sorry for him for that as well. But then he just went
off the deep end.
And I stopped. He was getting into stuff about LGBTQ community and all this stuff, and which was fine, but he was taking it to the nth degree, and I just found I wasn't learning anything from him anymore. All I was listening to was a rant all the time. It wasn't about sewing, and that's what I was tuning in for, sewing. I mean, I don't mind if he wants to rant. I mean, sometimes that's entertaining. I mean, heaven forbid that I should ever rant. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Yeah, I was a little disappointed in the way the instructions were written, but it's not a biggie. I got a quilt top out of it. Like, do I have?
It's pretty.
Too many? Yeah, I think it's pretty. And I was saving that fabric line. There was two fabric lines. I think one was called Floral Rhapsody and the other one was called Bliss. And I really like those, and I've been saving them for a while for something special. Well, still have lots of it left, though, for something else down the road as well. Yeah, I'll make it work. I can always make it work. because I'm the fudge king. Don't go there. So they're cute. The candles are cute. Yeah, they're kind of different. I thought they were kind of fun. And the hexy shelves too, yeah. Oh, the clock. Well, that clock is not a 3D print, Marilyn. That clock I made some time ago before I even got into quilting. That's an old record. And I got into paint pouring, so I paint poured it, and I bought the guts for a clock at like Michael's and put it in. And
or were they referring to the clock one where the
the block with the clock.
the clock.
That was a block with the clock. Yeah,
the clock block.
Yeah, leave the L in. Be careful with that. Oh, okay, that one. All right, fine. My mind jumps all over the place, but whatever. Yeah, the book squares are going to be fun, Anita, I think. Yeah, the wall hanging is going to take me a while, though, I think, because I don't work on that every day, because I've got other projects that I'm working on at the same time. Alterations are easy money for me. I am Letitia. Say no to things I don't want to do. Okay, I'm just trying to understand. I'm sorry if I seem a little dense, but anyways, okay, I get it. No things I don't want to do. Okay, so in other words, you're a girl who can say no, is what you're saying. And yeah, well, you got to be sometimes, right? Glue comes in handy for patches. Oh, what on a garment? I suppose, as long as you're not going to wash it. I don't know. Or in hot water, maybe.
To learning, I think it came up.
Oh,
I think it's a misspell.
Oh, okay, I get it. Oh, learning to say no. Okay, I'm Letitia. Say no. The auto checker does a lot of work.
Auto correct.
Yeah.
Luckily, it wasn't embarrassing.
Yeah, yeah, it could have been something worse. Teresa says, "Good opportunity for that young man to learn to sew." Yeah, I don't think it's happening. Hemming is easy unless I'm doing it for myself. Yeah, I don't know. I can hem, but
I don't like to do it for other people.
No, because I'm afraid I'll make a mistake. B says alterations help me pay my way through higher education. Okay. Yeah, well, if you're good at it. I'm not good at it. No, it's not a cozy quilt pattern, Angel. Sorry, not that one. This is an Art Gallery Fabrics pattern. I know cozy quilts, and I know, actually, I think I know the Bargello you're talking about, because I think the first Bargello I made it in a class, and we used the cozy quilt design. We used that pattern. I have it here somewhere. But that one is not a cozy quilt. If it had been a cozy quilt company one, the instructions would have been perfect, because every quilt I have ever done, and I've done a lot of cozy quilt patterns, are so well written. And Jordan Fabrics uses them a lot, and that's why, because you'll hear Donna Jordan say that they are well written, and they are. They absolutely are. Every one I've ever done has been excellent. Yeah, they have a better pattern with the video. Yeah, and that's probably the one that Angel's talking about. Yeah, Susan says, "Hi, Susan. I think he has lost the plot."
I think you're talking about Mr. Domestic.
Mr. Domestic. Yeah, I think he's lost a lot of things. And Teresa says, "I made a couple no-sew Christmas ornaments with the aid of his video." Yeah, well, actually, yeah, I saw one, and I made one of his too, and that worked out okay with his video. But he doesn't usually do, well, I haven't watched him in quite a while, so maybe that's changed. But when I was watching him, he would do little projects, but he wouldn't do full quilt tutorials on his YouTube channel. And I'm also not sure if he really is known for writing patterns. He's known for designing fabric. He does that a lot. Cheryl says, "Stephen, your rants are better than Mr. Domestic. Yours have purpose." Oh, thank you, Cheryl. And I'm glad you weren't lumping me right in with Mr. Domestic. Damn autocorrect. Okay, Angel says, "I was responding to Margaret about the pattern." Oh, okay, Angel. You know, it's hard to, there's all kinds of conversations going on here. You never know who's talking about what. And Joanna says she agrees the cozy quilt patterns are good. Yeah, they are. But anyways, that's what I've been up to. So what's coming up? Craft and Chat, people. This Wednesday, February the 2nd, Groundhog Day. Mentioned it last week, but mention it again. All are welcome for those of you that like are retired like me and have nothing better to do with your day. Wednesday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we run until about 4 o'clock or so. But, you know, if you can't make it at 1, but you can make it a little later on, sure, you're more than welcome to come later. It doesn't matter. Whenever you'd like to, it's all up to you. So we always have a good time at that as well. So, as you know, and we're growing. I think last time at the height of it, we had about 16 people, 14 or 16, something like that, which is pretty good.
And they're not recorded.
No, they're not recorded or anything like that.
It's not like it'll be posted anywhere or anything like that. So,
Jay, Designing Jay, Johanna's coming. Yay. Angel says alterations requiring me to be on someone else's time frame. I can't even keep my own time frame. Oh yeah, and Angel, you mentioned earlier on here you're still putting together that sewing table. Is it just because you haven't had the time, or is it really complicated? Because yeah, I know you've had that for a while now, haven't you? A couple of weeks, anyways. So, yeah. So, anyways, Craft and Chat, come join if you can. Now, that brings up another thing. I know some people can't make Craft and Chats because you work. And it's during the middle of a day, in the middle of a week, when I have it. I have been playing with the idea of having pop-up sew days. Now, what I mean by those, they would be on like a Saturday or Sunday, basically when I'm bored, kind of a deal. I would give probably only about a 24-hour notice. I would probably put it up on the YouTube channel, so make sure you've got your notifications bell clicked on. And just to say, yep, at such and such a time, I'm having a pop-up sew day if you want to join in. And it's for starting at this time, running for a couple hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever, something like that. And here's the Zoom link. All are welcome to come to it. I'm just wondering if people are into that. And it doesn't have to be just sewing. It doesn't have to be quilting or garment making or whatever. It could be anything you want to do. You know, if you want to take out your underwear drawer and file everything alphabetically, you could do that during that time. Ask Anita. She does. Well, it wasn't her underwear drawer. I think, Anita, you came on one day because it was just before you made the move. And so you had all these lists and things you had to make to get yourself ready, which is fine. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. If it gives you some time to get something done.
Andy doesn't do sewing, but she does the crafting.
Andy's
she usually comes on. So
yeah, so you know, it's I do not pigeonhole it in for quilters only. I mean, yes, the majority of the people there are working on a quilt or something like that, but some people knit, some people crochet. Andy does artwork as well, so it's whatever. It's more or less like a bunch of us getting together and having coffee and talking and working on stuff, kind of a thing. So, yeah, everybody is welcome. You don't need a special invitation. Although those of you that are on my mailing list, you've already gotten the special invitation. And if you want to be on the mailing list, just drop me a line. Email address is in the show notes. Cheryl says, I'll try to be there if my grandson takes a nap. Little Rubber Mallet, we've told you this before. It works wonders. He'll be out for hours.
Oh, good. I should use that on you.
Yeah, what makes you think I don't use it on you at night? Especially this week. You're up and down in bed, but never mind. It's a story we're not talking about. Glenna's going to be there. Yay, Glenna. I hope so. Well, the first week I had the Bumcarus virus. Okay, now there are 1,000,001 screws. Plus, it's a lot bigger than I originally thought it would be. Is that a good thing? Because size matters, Angel. And Laura says, yeah, I would join. I would work on paper crafts or painting.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine, but why did you say you would join? Does that mean you can't join because you're probably working or something, Laura? Sounds nifty. Eddie says, I would love that. I need all the quilting help I can get. I have my first class this week. Oh, so Eddie, are you a new quilter then? Well, you kind of said that in the email you sent to me. And are you retired and not, or you've got the time? Because, hey, you're going to find lots of help. If you've got questions, come on to Craft and Chat. We don't mind answering any questions. People are really good at sharing their knowledge. And if it's in my case and I don't know the answer to it, I will make it up. So it's not a problem.
Yeah, what? Cheryl says he bruises easily. How do you know that?
Who bruises easily?
Her grandson.
Oh, how do you know that? Yeah. Well, there are other ways you can do it. How about, is he still tiny? Can you fit him in your microwave? Got an electric knife, he'll fit. Nana's here. Hi, Nana. And she likes the idea of a pop-up sew day. Yep. Okay. I don't know when I'm going to have the first one. When the whim comes, I will try it out.
And see what happens.
Goal is to have it together before Wednesday so I can actually sew. Okay. So Angel's getting there. Yes, I would during the day, but the pop-ups would be great. Oh, okay. Great. Okay. Well, I'll give it a shot. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. Soon. But having said that, I do have, and you probably all know, I do have a big event coming up, March the 5th. Mark it on your calendar. It is the 3rd Idiot Quilter Retreat. Some of you have been on the retreats before, and you repeat clientele. First of all, let me tell you, it is absolutely free, so you don't have to worry about paying for anything. You do not have to pre-register, but I have sent out the notification to anybody who was at the last retreat, and I've got people already replying back to let me know that they're thinking about coming or that they are going to come, and I'm not going to hold you to that. It's not written in stone, but I would be disappointed if you didn't show up after you told me you were going to show up. I would cry a lot. It's just so I get an idea of numbers. Now, right now, we're up to, I think I've got about 19 people already since I put out the notification, and I put it out on Saturday. And that was to the people that I had in a previous one. But I can handle up to 95 people on it through my Zoom license. So, more the merrier. Now, what we're going to do with this, and if you were at the last one, you know about this, on the Friday night, this is a Saturday, March the 5th is a Saturday. It starts at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it'll run until about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you can't make it at 9 o'clock, that's okay, because if you're like out on the Pacific Coast, that's 3 hours difference. It's 6 o'clock, your time there. And then if you're the opposite way, it's a little bit later, and depending how far out into Europe you are, it makes it really late. And that's not to say we haven't had people from Europe. We have. And if you're in Australia, well, it's the next day for you, which may still be able to manage it. We've had people, though. We've had people from the UK. We have had people from Europe. We have had, I think we had an Australian once. We've had from South America, Mexico, of course, a lot from the States and from Canada. We had one person, and she's already signed up, says she wants to come to it again, from Alaska as well. So we have a real wide variety of people that join in for this. And so that's the Saturday. But on the Friday night before it, at about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I've got the links for that too in the show notes here, and they'll be in the show notes every week now until the time of it. We have a little icebreaker cocktail party. You come, you bring your snackies, you bring your favorite beverage, whatever that is, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, your choice. You're not driving anywhere anyways, it's Zoom. And we get together and maybe play a couple of games, talk, and I'd like people to show what they're working on or what they might be planning to work on during the retreat. Or, you can show something else, something you've made you're very proud of or whatever. And it's just a way for those that can make the Friday night one and are planning to be there on the Saturday, just, to get comfortable with everybody else. Although I find it doesn't take people long to get comfortable because that's the kind of environment that we have. During the Saturday one, I am trying to line up some guest speakers to show us some things. I have 3 lined up. I have one that has given me a for sure, and she is not a crafter or a quilter. She is a crafter. And I've asked her to demo some of her creations that are 3-dimensional because they're really, really neat. And so she said yes, she would do that. I've asked a couple of other people, and I'm just waiting for them to say, if they're able to do it or not, kind of a thing. And so I'm not going to say what those are because I don't want to put anybody on the spot. However, having said that, if any of you would like to present something, it doesn't have to be long. If there's something you would think other people would be interested in, then let me know. Send me an email. Tell me what it is, and I could schedule you in that day. Now, the advantage of a virtual retreat is, besides, and we just did a whole thing about virtual versus physical retreats on the latest So Chatty, so you may have seen that. So I'm not going to go over those things again. But what I was going to say is, the presentations that I may have lined up, I'm designing them so that they won't take up a lot of time. So, people can carry on with their sewing and doing whatever they're doing. With a minimum of interruption. And the beauty of on a virtual, you just mute your microphone, and it's going to be muted anyways while the presentation is going on, and you can carry on with whatever you're doing, and it's not going to disturb anybody at all. So, it's pretty easy that way. I am going to have prizes again. I had prizes at the last ones. Now, for any of you that may have been on the very first Idiot Quilter Retreat, I had gift certificates from various quilt stores and things like that and craft store, which I got a couple of local people here that own businesses, Shirley at Ultimate Sewing and Carol at Class Act Scrapbook Store. They were very generous. They gave me a lot of gift certificate codes and but at the second retreat, I didn't want to go back because they were so generous, and I didn't want to, put an onus on them because I know they'd say yes, but I just didn't feel comfortable asking them again for that kind of stuff. And also because people were around the world, there's shipping involved too, not so bad if you live where I live, for those 2 places because they were local, but if you're down in the southern United States or out in BC or across the big pond kind of thing, shipping could be very pricey for you with a gift certificate. So last time I did Amazon gift certificates, and that worked out, I think, really well. They're electronic. I can send them to you, the link to it, almost instantaneous when you win it. And if you're in the United States, I get them from Amazon.com. If you're in Canada, I get them from Amazon.ca. If you're in the UK, I would get them from Amazon.uk. So, because the gift certificates are not interchangeable between the countries, I found out. But that seemed to work out really well last time, and that's what I'm going to do this time. So, and maybe there'll be a couple of other things happening I haven't decided yet as well. So that's on March the 5th. And if you are interested in coming to it, just drop me a line just to let me know. It's just for my statistics, that's all. It doesn't mean that, we all know life happens. So if you can't make it, that's okay. I will hate you for the rest of your life, okay, short of it being your own funeral. But no, but just let me know. So that's how that's going to work. Oh, Teresa's actually off, so that's good. Yes, of course, Andy. Andy, you know this. Can non-sewers attend the sewing pop-up? Oh, that question. Yes.
Anything that we do, any Zoom at all.
Anything.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No. Of course you can attend a pop-up. In fact, maybe I will call it a creative pop-up or something, just so people don't think that I'm limiting it to quilters or sewers or that kind of thing.
Sewing and whatever.
Yeah, Anita says, I hope I can make it on Wednesday. Keith had to have emergency laser eye surgery Friday, and we have a follow-up appointment. Yeah, well, if you can make it, Anita, you can make it. I hope Keith's okay. I'm just looking down here. Yeah, Teresa, Friday and Saturday. Oh, you're off both. Okay, great. Yeah, the Friday night is not actually a, well, you could if you wanted to. We're only going to be there for a couple of hours kind of thing. It's more of a social hangout kind of a thing as opposed to actually working on anything. But if you wanted to work on something during then, that's fine. You can. Oh, thank you, Tracy. 50 hours a week for last month and more ahead. Well, sucks to be you, Teresa. That's why I like about retirement. I don't have to do those things. My time is my time. And this is almost my 10th year of it. Well, come June, I'll have been retired 10 years. It's hard to believe. And then my pension goes down because my
Your bridge benefit.
my Ben from CPP. But then I get the OAS, though. So, old age security. Old age security. Well, speaking of old age, it was Walter's birthday. And we guessed last week, he's 64. Yeah, it was anticlimactic. I was making him dinner. That was it. Turned out nice. We had veal. Were you happy with your veal
Yes,
piccata?
it was very tasty.
He was very tasty with a Caesar salad, and we had tiramisu for dessert. Now, I did not make the tiramisu. Costco has ready-made tiramisu in cute little glasses. Actually, the glasses are glass. They're actually kind of decent. And you get like a 6-pack of these, and they're actually quite good. In fact,
actually, they were good.
well, if you've ever made tiramisu, this stuff was just as you wouldn't have been able to tell. You could pass it off to people and said you made it. But to make tiramisu, it's kind of involved. It's not a hard thing to make, but it's the ingredients. Getting those stupid ladies' fingers or whatever they use and all that kind of stuff seemed to be hard to find. But yeah, and we were going to have we had a big bottle of champagne because everybody knows Walter's is a champagne slut. Yeah, we still have that bottle of champagne. He wasn't feeling 100% for his birthday. We'll spare you the gruesome details. So he didn't want to, he got some medication and he didn't really want to chance it, although he did go out to pick up his drugs and came back home with a bottle of Prosecco.
Yeah, a regular bottle. We had a double bottle of champagne, like a 2-bottle of champagne. So I didn't want to go through the entire bottle, so the big bottle. So I picked up a smaller bottle for that night.
Yeah. Who's putting up the poop? No shit.
No shit. Yeah.
Cross-stitch and quilt. Cross-stitch and quilting. Okay. Yeah, well, you can do all that stuff, Margaret. I told Keith, Anita says, we reached the age where we're starting to need replacement parts. Yeah. Well, they've got 3D printers that can supposedly print certain body parts. Not a lot of them yet, so who knows?
Hey, wait a minute. I'm not 65 yet.
Who said you're 65?
No.
Oh. No, he's not 65. He just turned 64.
He's going to be 65.
Excuse me. Not for 6 months.
Yeah.
Not for 6 months.
Hi, Jeannie. Thank you. Belated happy birthday.
Yeah, everybody's saying they're happy birthday. So anyways, that's how we celebrate at Walter's birthday. We're supposed to be doing a little housewarming. You heard me talk about this before, and then it kind of got canceled. But I guess we're going to be doing this for my friend that moved into his new apartment. He's been having some problems since he's moved into his new apartment. He just moved in pretty much this weekend, and he pretty much had to because his house closes tomorrow that he was in his family home. And he's having some technological problems with his equipment, and his poor cat, I'm dying to meet this cat. He couldn't find the cat carrier when he was taking the cat over to the new apartment. And so the cat was bouncing off the walls inside his car. And I guess it sounded like he had to do a side trip somewhere quite a ways away with the cat in the car and then off the apartment. So the cat didn't know what was happening because I guess Kitty hadn't really been in a car before. And his cat's not I call it Kitty, but it's not a kitty. He's had this cat now for 5 years or so. Anyway, so it's a mature cat. But I guess it eventually settled down, curled up on his lap while he's driving and went to sleep. So he got it into the new apartment, and of course, Kitty was a little in shell shock. C said it. She took a nervous piddle in her litter box when she got in there. Well, I thought, well, that's a good thing. You showed her where the litter box is now located, so at least, you know, it wasn't going in and doing it on a carpet where they shouldn't do it, because that's a bad behavior that can happen when you move a cat from one place to a strange place. And then when it saw it, I guess he's got a cat tower, you know, a scratching thing and toys and things on it. And Kitty had been missing that because he's had it moved out in his first lot of stuff that went into the apartment, and it's been gone for about 2 weeks, and Kitty has not been happy, I guess, because Kitty's tower has not been there to play with. Well, when Kitty saw the tower, I guess Kitty was happy. So anyways, we're going over on Thursday night. We're taking Chinese food. We've got, I got the quilt that I made him. And then when I decided we go to the dollar store, and we picked up a whole bunch of, you know, incidental little things that people sometimes don't think about when they move out from a family home and into an apartment, you know, cleaning items and things like that. So we got a bunch of that kind of stuff as well for them. And, yeah, it should be a little bit of fun. We'll take some beer and we'll take some wine over, and you know, leave whatever's left of that for him, you know, kind of all part of the housewarming event, gift or whatever. So that's coming up. What are people saying here? Penny says, Stephen, when is your birthday? July. Bastille Day.
Yeah.
If you know when Bastille is.
You can figure that out.
If you can figure out what I mean by Bastille Day and the date of it, then you'll know the date of my birthday. Yeah, you can just send me gift certificates. Amazon's always nice. You know, let's start gift certificates though. I don't want to waste your time, so let's start them at a couple of $100 a piece. Okay, no problem. You've got lots of time to set that money aside. Yeah, I'm being facetious. Okay. Teresa says, I cross-stitch, sew, try to quilt, paint, work, and cook, which leaves hardly any time to clean. Oh, I just did that today. Cleaned the house today. I always clean it at for the end of the month. Nope, it's not the 1st of July. That's Canada Day. Oh, yours is July the 1st. Okay. Benadryl.
I don't know. Cats? I don't know.
I don't know. It takes cats a while to adjust. Yeah, it takes cats a while to adjust. Yeah, they do. Okay, Angel, have a good night at work.
Yeah.
Smuggle out some of those peppers for me. Is your friend having trouble adjusting to being on his own? I don't know yet, because he
may not have sunk in quite yet.
No, I think there's going to be some other adjustments. I think some of those adjustments are going to involve finances, because he does have a job, but it's not a really great job. He works in a weed store, you know, because it's legal here, right?
Cannabis
store. So, you know, he's probably only making minimum wage, which in our province is not that wonderful. Well, it's better than what minimum wage is in some states in the United States, but you know, here it's about $14 an hour kind of a deal. And he's not full time. So I don't know how many hours he gets in a week. He's lived with his dad. His mom passed away quite a few years ago. His sister, he has an older sister, slightly older than him. She's married, has her own family and everything like that, lives in the area. So it's just been him and his dad. And his dad's always been out and about. His dad's a retired school teacher. He was a auto shop teacher. And he's been retired. Actually, I've been retired longer than his dad. But his dad started, and his dad's considerably older than me. But his dad started teaching late in life, you know, because he went back to school, got what he needed to do that, and did that. But he was very active. He played a lot of pool, like competitive pool, big time competitive pool. He had a girlfriend. I don't know if he's still seeing her or not.
That's his dad.
Not him. It's his dad. And so his dad was out of the house a lot. But our friend, he's kind of a nighthawk. He's kind of like Walter. He doesn't go to bed until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Of course, he doesn't get up until about 5 o'clock in the afternoon again, unless he's working those days, and that's got to put a little cramp onto his style. He loves video games. He plays them all, that kind of stuff, and that's his life, kind of. And so this move, he's been saying, he's been very positive about it. You know, he's looking forward to moving into this. He got an apartment, not in the best part of town, but you know, you got to get what you can afford. And yeah, so he doesn't have a lot of friends. He's not a real social person. So that's one reason why we're doing this little housewarming thing for him, you know, to brighten up his day, kind of a deal.
Yeah, Teresa, he may have to get another job. That's easier said than done by this guy.
Yeah, he's a little picky about what he gets for jobs. He's very intelligent. Very intelligent. He's a big guy. I mean, big as in he's tall, and he's not like, he's heavy, but he's not like
really overweight.
Yeah, he's not overweight. It's more kind of muscle kind of a thing. He used to be a security guard, off and on, and he has all the qualifications for being a security guard, including carrying a gun. Although right now he can't legally carry a gun. I don't think he even has a gun. He has to renew his license, and I think that involves, because he hasn't been a security guard for quite a few years now, I think that involves like classes again and stuff like that. And he didn't really like being a security guard at the jobs he had because he worked nights. Well, he likes to work nights. So that's like, he's a nighthawk. But he just didn't like what was involved. I think he worked at one point for like a security company that picked up cash and stuff. And he wasn't really fond of that. So I don't know. Doesn't have a great deal of education. I mean, he's got high school.
He doesn't have a great amount of what do you call it?
Experience.
Good work experience.
Yeah, good work experience. He's had jobs where he basically got screwed around and things, and he had to leave. He left, and so they don't want to give him, you know, references kind of stuff. So it's kind of sad. But anyways, we're doing this to, you know, give him a good start. So yeah, it's not easy. And he's not a spring chicken. He's in his mid-40s now. So, you know. Anyways. Oh, yeah, Teresa already does that. And that's legal. He was doing it before it was legal. But he was growing his own for his own consumption. He wasn't out trafficking it or anything like that. And he has more of an intellectual interest in growing it more than anything. He does use it, but he's more interested in the science behind how it grows and the things you can do with it. He's explained to me the process, and it's like, I have no desire to grow marijuana. But it is legal here in Ontario to grow it. I think you can have as many as
you can have 4 plants.
4 plants, yeah. And apparently, you can get quite a bit off those 4 plants.
Yeah, you can.
I guess. Yep, Patsy, you got it. July the 14th. That's it. Yep. Bastille Day. I always say, when I was born.
Benadryl for the cat, you mean?
Oh, yeah, okay. What, you mean give it to the cat?
I don't know, I guess.
I mean, Benadryl, or for when you're allergic to a cat. I'm not allergic to cats, so we're not allergic to it. I did see a picture. I had never seen a picture of this cat, and he sent me a picture with the cat sitting on his shoulder, and it's a beautiful cat. The markings on it wasn't what I was expecting for some reason. I expected more or less a black cat or something. But this one, and I think this cat was a rescue, but I'm really kind of excited to to play with his pussy, so to speak. Yeah, a degree in botany. Well, I've made suggestions about going back to school, but he's really not about that. Oh, to calm it down, Teresa says. Well, I think he's okay now. So I didn't know you could give Benadryl to a cat.
I didn't know that.
Geez, in the middle of the night when we heard Cleo coughing up a hairball, that might have been a good thing to give her. Stop that cough. But whatever. So that's coming up. So something I put in the title here, you've probably heard about it in the news. We've got the whiny truck drivers. Sorry if anybody out there is related to a truck driver or not, but this is ridiculous here in this country. They're did a convoy across the country, ending up in Ottawa, to protest the whole mandatory vaccination for truck drivers that we have in this country.
To cross the border.
Cross the border, yeah. And, 86% of them, according to the Trucker Association, are already double vaxxed. So these are your anti-vaxxers again. And there's all these people standing on the sides of the highways cheering them on. And there was a big rally in Ottawa.
And then it also apparently brought out the other nuts that were were waving the Confederate flag and waving swastikas.
Yeah, like, this is crazy. I mean, Confederate flags and swastikas here in our country. No. First of all, let's talk about Confederate flags. That's a Southern American thing. And we know the controversy over the whole business with the Confederate flag. If you live in North America, you know about it. You've heard about it. We didn't have a civil war in Canada. Closest thing we had was the Upper Canada Rebellion in 1837. And that was short-lived. And flags were not involved. A Confederate flag. Really. Which kind of suggests that some of these truck drivers that were in this convoy may be not Canadians. They may be American truck drivers as well. And it just shows their mentality too. Hello. Protesting Canada, bring your Confederate flag. Yeah. But then to bring a swastika. Oh God, no. No. Those people should have been arrested by the cops on hate crime charges.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just something we don't tolerate in this country. But apparently, they're at a rally, and the cops weren't doing much about it. So that's taken your right to protest a little far.
One guy needs a kidney transplant and refuses to get vaxxed to be eligible.
I mean, this is the mentality we're dealing with.
Yeah, I know. They interviewed some woman that was a dental hygienist, and she refused to get vaccinated and lost her job.
Yeah.
And doesn't seem to understand why.
Yeah. It's like, why? Well, if they think this is going to change the mind of our federal government, I don't think it is. And I hope it doesn't. This is crazy. And these truckers, yeah, I get it. It's their livelihood in the whole bit. So, but you can take time off to go to this protest. Some of them were coming from as far away as BC. That's a 5,000 kilometer trip.
Obviously, they can afford the gas to protest.
Yeah.
It's most.
Yeah. What's Laura says, there was one fellow who was walking up and down the major highway here through Guelph, waving the Canadian flag, shouting his rhetoric through a bullhorn. I showed my support with my middle finger. Yeah, I know. Ridiculous. I'm ashamed to say that I'm a Canadian when you see this kind of behavior, because that is not how we behave as Canadians, or it wasn't. Maybe things are changing.
Eddie says, keep the Canadian Americans that came across the board.
Yeah. No, they're yours. They're going back. Just ludicrous. And all these ones, these anti-vaxxers just don't get it. They are a minority, a small minority.
Yeah, but you know what's happening is it's not just the anti-vaxxers. Then they've got all these other idiots that are joining in with the groups that are doing hate crimes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or showing they have hate affiliations.
Yeah. Anita says apparently USA does not have the market on bad behavior. Nope. That's right, Anita. It doesn't. We have our crazies in this country too, apparently. If anything COVID has shown us, it's shown us how many crazies are out there in both our countries. Yeah, it's bad here. Don't be ashamed. But yeah, I know. Um, right. I think that is a bomber. We'll just get rid of this individual. Yeah, that's one thing. Anyways, idiot behavior. I hope Justin just bye-bye. Forget it. And they hung things around the Terry Fox Memorial statue in Ottawa as well. Now, what did they hang?
Well, no, they put a sign on there, something about anti-vaccine, and they hung Canadian flag upside down.
Okay. You know, okay, hang on the Canadian...
And they put a baseball cap on him.
No, and if you don't know who Terry Fox is a Canadian hero. This was a young man who had basically terminal cancer and decided he had lost his legs. Did he lose both legs or one leg?
One leg.
He lost one leg, and he decided to raise money back in the late 70s. Was it late 70s? He was running from shore to shore across Canada, raising money for cancer and all that kind of stuff. He didn't make it all the way across because the cancer
came
back and basically killed him. But every year there is the Terry Fox run. There has been since that time. It still goes on to this day. It's a big major fundraiser in Canada, and he's one of our heroes. You don't diss Terry. Okay? That is sacrilege in this country. Just shows you their mentality, as we've said. Yeah, very disrespectful. Karen says that Confederate flag is an anti-people of color thing. Yeah, I know that. There's no room for it in either country for the Confederate flag. No. Yeah, Cheryl, leave Terry Fox alone. We don't do those things. And
here we go.
Oh, here we go. Now we have the Russian bomber. For it. Yeah. Just if you see these ones, they're coming up apparently on a lot of YouTube channels, especially on live ones. Well, it's on live ones. There's these ones from Russia or somewhere. Who knows if they are really from Russia or where they're from. But they're just, and I don't know what their point is, what they're trying to do, because they're putting something in that's in a language we don't speak. And I do have the power to remove them. Some YouTube people, when they do lives, have moderators to handle things like this as well. I'm the moderator. I just handle it so it comes up. But anyways, so yeah, that's something that's happening. So anyways, these truckers whining away. I have very little respect for any of those truckers that are part of that convoy, because they're not the only ones that are being hurt by COVID. Come on. What about all the restaurant owners? What about all the retail shops? What about us, common people? We've all been affected in one way or another. We're doing the best we can. And there's such a simple solution. Get vaccinated. What was it? There was somebody lost their job.
It was a dental hygienist.
Oh, the dental hygienist, yeah. Shall we mention that?
Yeah, no, I did say that. She lost her job because she wasn't going to get vaccinated. And she felt that she wanted her job back, but she didn't want to get vaccinated.
Well, I certainly don't want a dental hygienist working on me that hasn't been vaxxed. I mean, excuse me. Common sense would tell you that that's just transmission waiting to happen in there. So, Teresa says, especially since Canada took in escaped slaves. Yeah, we did, but you want to know something? We weren't all that great when it got. We did have a little bit of slavery in this country. It's something that is very little known. People focus on the Underground Railway and say, everybody was trying to get here to Canada and we helped them and all that kind of stuff. Yes, we did, but we did have our own slave problem. And you have to remember, too, we did intern Japanese during the Second World War out in BC into camps. So we're not perfect either. You know, uh, okay, Teresa, I have no idea what that is. Fina Rebekov. Okay, I don't know what that means, Teresa. Have to fill me in. Um, Anyways, I just think it's another example of whiny people. It's all about the me, isn't it? So, yes, well, yeah, right, Laura. We certainly haven't treated the Aboriginal people well at all, and we're still not treating them that well. That's why we have all. I don't understand why the government is holding out on certain things with them. Now, mind you, I have my own, you know, I just figured we could solve the whole problem. All they need to do, do you want the country back? Give us back the beads. You know, well, no, I'm making light of it, but you know, all those bodies of the kids from the residential schools. But you know who the real culprit is on the residential schools for the treatment? Yes, the government set them up, but they let the Catholic Church run it in the most cases. And those children were abused by nuns and priests. So, oh, yeah, not like we haven't heard that before, have we? No. And I'm sorry if you're Catholic, I have no respect for the Catholic Church. Sorry, no. But then I don't have.
Teresa said that's the name of the Russian that came up.
Oh, okay. Which you translated it from Russia? Oh, I wonder if that's female. Because there are these ones, you'll find them on Facebook, you find them on Instagram and that. They want to be your friend, and there's a lovely little glamour shot of a woman, probably not even them, but they're basically, they are connections to porn sites and things like that. Yeah, so, but anyways, yeah, well, whatever gets your jollies, I guess, with that. So, do you feel old? Now that you're older? You look old.
Yeah. Getting there. I was thinking about that the other day. So
I think about that a lot, actually, and it's starting to bother me because, you know, I think it's been brought on because of, you know, with my mother passing and everything like that. And you think about how fast time has been going by. Like I just said, I've been retired now for almost 10 years. And wow, that's gone by really quickly. And
yeah, well, I've been retired before, so
yes, yeah, you've been 4. And Teresa says I'm Catholic, and I agree. Okay, yes, likely a woman. Ova is feminine. Okay, so yeah, whatever. Who knows? Oh, Laura says, hey, you guys have kept your COVID beards. What,
yeah, actually, this is the longest time I've ever had a beard, so.
I'm afraid to shave it off because it might make me look really old without the beard, so I don't know. Cheryl says, I'm Catholic too, and it still disturbs me. I went to Catholic school most of my life, and we had some scary nuns teaching us. Yeah, my sister went to the convent here where area we live when she was a kid for piano lessons, and I guess the sister who was teaching her was kind of brutal. If your hands weren't in the right position, she took a ruler on the knuckles all the time. Eddie says, you two aren't old, just well seasoned. Well, we're not getting older. We're just getting bitter. Better. I mean better. Yeah, that's what I wrote in Walter's birthday card, but I write that to him all the time. So, and it's pretty much true. Someone told us the other day we were like the two guys on Sesame Street.
Statler
and whatever his name is, you know, from the balcony. I find that a compliment, actually. Kind of thing. Kill Miss Piggy and Kermit. Hit Kermit with a car. Well, whatever. Well, anyways, I think that's enough of us today. You've got your fill. So let's see. Remember, Wednesday this week, Craft and Chat. Link for it is in the show notes below. Starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All are welcome, no matter what you're doing. And keep in the back of your mind, March the 5th, if you can join us for the all-day Idiot Quilters Retreat. What are you laughing at?
I was kicked out of Catholic school. They couldn't handle me.
Oh. Oh, were you one of those girls who like to roll the hem of her kilt up a little higher and smoke cigarettes where they wouldn't find you? Were you Britney Spears bad girl? That's a conversation for another day. We're not getting into it now. So anyways, yep, Craft and Chat on Wednesday, March 5th, the retreat, and maybe a pop-up sew day sometime soon. Watch this channel for announcements. And thanks for joining us, and we'll see. Hope you have a good rest of the day, and we'll see everybody soon. So
have a good week.
Bye, all.
Bye.